Model 5 Climate and Earth Unit 7 Weather and Climate. Before you begin, what is the climate like at the North and South Poles? What is it like on the equator? Why do you think these places have different climates? At the North and South Poles, the climate is very cold and dry. At the equator, it is hot and wet. These places have different climates because they get different amounts of sunlight during the year. Read the word in the box. Where in the world can you experience these types of climates? Check the meaning of any words you don't know in the activity book, glossary, or in a dictionary. Polar, North and South Poles. Tundra, Russia, North America. Mountain, the Alps, Himalayas, and Andes. Temperature, Europe, USA, parts of South America. Desert, North Africa, Sahara. South Africa, Kalahari, Nab. Mongolia, Gobi. Mexico, Western USA, Saudi Arabia, etc. Monsoon, India, Southeast Asia. Tropical, South America, Southeast Asia. Polar, related to the poles at the upper north and lower south of Earth. Tundra, very cold lands where trees don't grow, such as in Canada and Russia. Mountain, large upright natural elevation of the ground. Temperature, related to a climate that is not hot or too cold. Desert, dry, sandy, uninhabited area. Monsoon, a seasonal wind that carries with it heavy rain. Tropical, having a very hot and wet climate. Read and listen to the article about different climates. Which climate do you live in? How has pollution affected it? It is a desert climate in Jordan because the rainfall per year is about 20 centimeters only. The weather has become hotter due to pollution. One word, many climates. Climates vary hugely in different parts of the world. They determine what an area is like and they affect the people who inhabit the region as well as the plants and animals that live there. There are 8 main types of climate. 1. Polar areas are very cold with strong dry winds. Their temperature in summer is never higher than 10 degrees centigrade, and ice and snow cover the ground. Areas that have a tundra climate include Russia and North America. They are usually cold with very short summers. There is very little rain. This means that not many trees can grow. In mountain areas, the height of the mountains determines the climate. Areas that have a cool temperate climate include Northern Europe and the USA. There is rain almost all year. The summers are usually warm and the winters are not very cold. Places that have a warm temperate climate such as southern Europe, southern parts of the USA, and South America have hot, dry summers. Winters are not usually cold. Areas where there Areas where there is less than 25 centimeters of rain each year have desert climates. North Africa and Central Australia are examples. During the day it is very hot, but at night it becomes very cold. In India and Southeast Asia, there is a monsoon climate, so the weather changes suddenly. Months of heavy rain mounts follow months of dry weather. Places where there is a tropical climate are near the equator. It is always hot and wet in these areas, and rainforests grow there. Comprehension. Read and listen to the article again. Answer the following questions. How do you think a climate affects the plants and animals from one area to another? Some plants and animals adapt to a certain climate, but not to another. For example, penguins can be found in the South Pole and not in Jordan. How many types of climate does the article mention? Which climate do you think Jordan has? The article mentions 8 types of climate. Jordan has a hot, dry desert climate. Which other climate do you think would be interesting to experience? Why? The humid continental climate, because it is marked by variable weather patterns and a large seasonal temperature variance. Which climate do you think causes danger to people the most? Explain your answer. A monsoon climate causes danger to people because it might result in floods. What type of climate does each of these sentences describe? Refer to the information in the article to help you decide. There is a sudden change from wet to dry weather, monsoon. The weather is often wet and it isn't usually very cold, cool temperate. The weather is often wet and it is usually very cold, cool temperate. Summers are very short and there aren't many trees, tundra. It's always hot and wet, tropical. It's very hot during the day but very cold at night, desert. Grammar. Defining relative clause. Who قبل اسم العاقل. Which قبل الاسم غير العاقل الأشياء والحيوانات. That لغير العاقل الأشياء والحيوانات. Whose لملكية العاقل وغير العاقل. When بعد أسماء الزمان و where بعد أسماء المكان. Complete the sentences with who, whose, which, when, or where. An iceberg is a huge piece of ice which floats in the ocean. Climates affect the people inhabit the region. He's the daughter I met in Jordan. An art gallery is a place we go on holiday. Summer is the time of year paintings are hung. Which, who, whose, where, when. Join the following sentences using the relative pronouns in practice. Climates affect the plants and animals. The plants and animals live there. Wish. The man told me that there would be a storm this weekend. The man was reading a newspaper. Who? Russia is a country. Its climate is dry and very cold with short summers. Whose? North Africa is a place. There is a desert climate in North Africa. Where? Which of these words and phrases are connected with climate change? Check the meaning of any words you don't know in the activity book, glossary, or in a dictionary. All the words are connected with climate change. Global warming, the general rise of the temperature of the earth. Greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide produced in greenhouse. Drought, the state of having little or no rain for a long time. Flood, overflowing of water over land. Atmosphere, gases surrounding the earth. Rise in, that is when the temperature gets hotter. Rise in sea levels, that is when the seawater rises. Melting ice. Ice melts due to global warming. Damage to crops. Damage caused by different reasons. Listen to the radio program. What is the difference between weather and climate? The weather is something that is happening at the moment in the atmosphere. The climate is weather conditions in a part of Earth for many years. The weather around climate affects the way you dress, the food you eat, and the place where you live. The weather can create huge waves at sea and shape in the earth around us. Plants and animals around the world have adapted to the weather conditions that they live in. For example, polar bears in the Arctic have thick fur to protect them from the cold. The atmosphere which surrounds Earth is like a giant blanket of air. The weather is something that is happening at the moment in the atmosphere. The weather is also affected by things that happen thousands of kilometers away. The weather creates many of the world's worst disasters, such as droughts, which cause crops to die and animals to starve, and floods, which cause widespread destruction. However, thanks to modern science, weather forecasts are now fairly accurate while plants and animals around the world have adapted to the weather conditions that they live in. For example, polar bears in the Arctic have thick fur to protect them from the cold. The atmosphere which surrounds Earth is like a giant blanket of air. The weather is something that is happening at the moment in the atmosphere. The weather is also affected by things that happen thousands of kilometers away. The weather creates many of the world's worst disasters, such as droughts which cause crops to die and animals to starve, and floods which cause widespread destructions. However, thanks to modern science, weather forecasts are now fairly accurate worldwide. Today, though, world climate Today, the world climates are changing faster than ever before. This is the result of global warming, which is caused by a build-up of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. If we continue to produce large amounts of greenhouse gases, the world will become hotter and extreme weather will become more common. 4. Listen again and answer the questions. What is the main idea of Ido script? The main idea is the effects that weather and climates have on Earth. What is described as a giant blanket of air? The atmosphere that surrounds Earth is described as a giant blanket of air. What negative impact can weather have on Earth? Droughts and floods can occur, causing destruction of places, plants, and animals. What causes global warming? What can people do to reduce it? A build-up of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere causes global warming. People should reduce the production of greenhouse gas. What do you think will happen to the world's climate in the future? I think the Earth will continue getting hotter, weather and climates will become more extreme, there will be more floods, droughts and storms, crops will die and there won't be enough food. Listen to the radio program again, then write a summary of the program using the words in the box in exercise 2. The weather and climate affect the way we live. The weather can create huge waves at sea and shape the earth around us. The weather is something that is happening at the moment in the atmosphere. The weather creates many of the world's worst disasters such as droughts. Global warming is caused by a build-up of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. If we continue to produce large amounts of greenhouse gases, the world will become hotter and extreme weather will become more common. Fill in the blanks with the words from the box to complete the following poem. Discuss its meaning, then react it to the class. Mighty, sad, sand, ocean, humable, drops, water, grains, eternity. Little drops of water, little grains of sand make the mighty ocean and the pleasant land. Thus the little minutes, humble though they be, make the mighty age of eternity. Meaning, the poem suggests that even the little acts of kindness that we do count and can make the world a better place. Vocabulary. Write the descriptions in the box under the correct types of climate. Polar, very cold, ice and snow. Tropical, hot and wet. Desert, very little rain, hot in the day, cold at night. Monsoon, very heavy rain. Cool temperate, rain most of the year, not very cold winter. Tundra, very little rain, very short summers. Punctuation. Listen to the words in the box. What do they have in common and in what way are they different? Put the words in the alphabetical order. Similarities, differences. All the words refer to place. 1. Some refer to areas in countries. Jordan Valley, Jordan Badia. Some refer to continents or parts of continents. North Africa, Southern Europe, South America, Southeast Asia, Central Australia, Northern Europe, and the other refer to countries, Russia and India. Alphabetical order: Central Australia, India, Jordan Valley, Jordanian Badia, North Africa, North America, Northern Europe, Russia, South America, Southeast Asia, Southern Europe. Complete this report about desert climates with the words from the book: survive, cold, service, rainfall, winters, desert. Desert climates. Around 20% of the surface of Earth in desert climates in the desert are either hot or the Jordanian Badia Desert reaches 80% of the total area of the kingdom. However, Jordan is among the few countries that have a climate but that also enjoy mild to cool and wet summer and warm in winter. The Badia Desert is rich in wildlife. In the 1920s, some animals like the Arabian oryx didn't due to climate change and the small amount of. As a result, the Jordanian authorities set up the Shomari Reserve in 1975 CE to Jordan to save the few remaining numbers of the Arabian oryx, called desert winter survive rainfall. Look at the photographs. What do you think they represent? Discuss what with partner. The photos represent the need to use the resources of Earth responsibly. We can recycle or use things again. We need to work with nature, not against it. Vocabulary. These words are all connected to global warming. Check the meaning of any words you don't know in the activity book, glossary, or in a dictionary. Extinction: when a type of animal or plant no longer exists. Efficiency: working well with no waste of energy. Appliance: a piece of electrical equipment. Organic, natural. Conserve: saves. Enlighten: teach or inform. Absorb: soak up like a sponge. Read this newspaper report on types that help save the planet's environment. How can this problem be solved? This problem can be solved by not buying unnecessary items, by reusing old material, and recycling products that cannot be reused. We should try not to use electrical appliances too much and buy and eat organic food. We can also plant trees and get our friends involved. Be active, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Did you know that 1.51 bottle requires less energy and produces less waste than their 0.51 bottles? Avoid buying unnecessary items, reuse the old materials or recycle them into new products. Turn off those lights. Did you know that you are using a huge amount of energy by keeping your electronics, light bulbs, phone charger, etc. plugged in? Try using manual appliances instead of electrical ones, if available, and keep watching TV and using your computer to a minimum. Go organic. Did you know that organic farming cuts the production of carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide by at least half? It also requires less irrigation, which conserves water and energy. It's not only better for the planet, it's the healthier for you. For you too. Plant a tree. Did you know that a single tree will absorb approximately 1 ton of carbon dioxide during its lifetime? So start digging. Encourage your friends. Finally, did you know that you can double the outcomes by sharing the above information? Set up recycling programs and encourage energy efficiency at your school and neighborhood. The more people you manage to enlighten, the greater your help to save the planet will be. But please take action yourself too. Refer to your ideas in exercise 6 and 7 to write a newspaper report about the drought in Australia. Use the newspaper report on page 60 as a model and include at least one defining relative clause in your work. Then share your work with the class. Drought in Australia. Drought in Australia has had many bad results on people, animals and crops. There is also a very real danger of fire because everything is so dry. People are suffering and their animals are dying. They don't know what when it will rain again. Here are things we can do to cope with droughts. Reuse water. Reuse the quantity of the water you use. For example, use the washing water for watering the garden or cleaning your car. Save while brushing. Did you know that by turning off the tap while you brush your teeth in the morning and before bedtime, you can save up to 8 gallons of water? Shower. Did you know that taking a shower uses much less water than filling up a bath tube would use 70 gallons? A shower uses 10 to 25. Fix the leak. Did you know that if your toilet has a leak, you could be wasting about 200 gallons of water every day? Beat the heat. Water the garden early in the morning or in the evening. Watering when it's hot and sunny it is wasteful because most of the water evaporates before the plants have time to drink it. Use a bucket. Use a bucket. A hose can waste 6 gallons per minute if you leave it running, but using a bucket and sponge only use a few gallons.